The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Go Cowboys! This is Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign, trusted by over 500 NFL players for their winning smiles. And broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your host, Nicole Hutchison.
Wake up, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio. I'm Nicole Hutchison alongside Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison. Ladies, good morning. Wake up.
Morning.
How y'all doing? It's week 15.
Yeah.
Crazy times.
Are we excited?
Crazy times.
It's a must-win game. Wow, y'all all right this morning?
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an important game.
Wow, I'm going to need y'all to wake up this morning. We need some more energy. Cowboys have a chance to bounce back. Of course, y'all already talked about it. They had a little help with Philly, and we're not going to talk about it because y'all already did. But they have a Minnesota Vikings team that they have coming into Sunday Night Football. Of course, they're in a must-need win situation as well. I feel like we've been saying that all season long, but it's getting real. You look at this offense, because we are focusing on Vikings offense, Cowboys defense. You look at this Minnesota Vikings offense, and it seems like they ain't really figured stuff out. Of course, they kind of bounced back against the Washington Commanders, but to me, I don't feel like that's a true measuring stick of where this team is. But you look at this offense, where they are right now, 28th in total yards, 28th in total yards per game, 24th in rushing yards per game. Not necessarily numbers-wise one of the best, but what would you say this identity looks like under Wes Phillips right now?
For the Vikings, I mean, they're an offense that really is trying to be balanced. You see a lot of the similar concepts as you saw with Dallas last year with Mike McCarthy, some of those West Coast concepts. I guess I would say their identity is that they want to be balanced, but if they cannot find the balance, like in running the ball and passing the ball, they will lean on passing the ball, and I think that's where a lot of J.J. McCarthy's interceptions come from.
Yeah, what you got?
Yeah, I would kind of agree with that. I think having a young quarterback is forcing Kevin O'Connell to go away from what he actually likes to do, and I think that's what you've been seeing with some of these terrible statistics, and even going off this big game, big win, kind of what Nicole said, it's hard measuring stick. I don't think it's just you feeling like that, listening to Vikings radio. Like they feel like the same as that too. You know, they're not trying to, even though 31-0, it's great, but it's also, you're looking at a Commanders team who's lost 8 in a row. So it's kind of hard to say that they got things fixed, but there is a light at the end of the tunnel for them because they just wanted to see something from their young QB. 163 passing yards is normally not something you typically celebrate and bring out the flags, but they kind of, this is good for them because that's how bad it's been. There's some crazy statistics with their run game. I know we'll get into it in a few, but their running backs from week 4 to 10 couldn't combine for 20 carries between their 1-2 punch, which is crazy. But what was different last week is that they were able to heavily rely on their run game, and they just kept with it because the Commanders literally had no answer. So again, is that because their run game was good and their O-line was doing their job, or was that just because the Commander has that bad of a defense? So.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you look at their offensive line, like obviously they've kind of been in limbo and they've been through a lot of rotations. But as I looked into the film, like this isn't a bad unit. I guess like the only weak points on that offensive line are really the guards. But they do get a good amount of interior push. I think that their tackles have been struggling, similar to Dallas, where they're, but their right tackle I think has played better. They're confusing.
Yeah.
I can't remember what team that we watched that the Cowboys played a while ago, and we were saying like they're not as bad as what their record is. Maybe it was Arizona. To me, this is a Minnesota in similar ways, is that when you start looking at their units and the players they have and all these things, you would expect for their run game, as you were mentioning, Bree, you would expect for their run game to be more efficient with how you're looking at the guys, some of the run concepts, but it just hasn't been there for them consistently this year. So they were a confusing watch to me.
Yeah, and when you look back, I listened to Purple Daily, their Daily podcast over there in Minnesota. And it sounds like they kind of just got away from what they were working on in terms of the concepts in training camp. So I'm not sure what happened there at the start of the season where they just said, all right, let's just go away from what we're working on or whatever. But apparently that's what happened. But Bree, you made a good point about the run game. Last week they ran the ball, of course, 23 times for 101 rushing yards with their running backs. That was a season high. So, yeah, they haven't really had a good opportunity to be efficient in the run game. What do you feel is the biggest threat from that Minnesota Vikings team? Aisha, I'll go back to you.
To me, I think it's going to be that receiving core. Like, don't get it twisted. Justin Jefferson had one of his least amount of yardage, I want to say, last week in a game that he's had in his career. I want to say, was it 11 yards or something like that? I mean, he was pretty quiet last week, but, they do have more than one guy. They obviously
11,
have,
right.
yeah, they already have Addison. They also have, what is this gentleman's name? Naylor, who's kind of their speed guy. They have some guys, obviously, Hawkinson. Like, they have a good receiver core and guys that can really get after it if this quarterback has time. So, really, that's probably my biggest worry because Dallas has done decently stopping the run on the ground. What they've struggled with are the running backs that can do receiving things, which Aaron Jones is somebody that can do that. So they've struggled with that, and they've also struggled with speedy receivers. And this receiver core has a lot of speed, and they haven't really been able to show it off like that, but as frequently as I'm sure as they want it. But I'm sure after watching that film last week with the Lions that the Vikings are looking at the Dallas secondary and thinking that maybe they can take advantage in certain areas.
Were you talking about run game, or were you talking about? I thought you asked
Just in
about
general.
run game.
Yeah,
That's
in general.
I think I brought up what Christy said yesterday about the tight ends because I was listening again to Vikings radio and Kevin O'Connell was talking about, they were like, all the passing touchdowns went to tight ends last week. Was that scheme? Was it that? And he was just basically saying that, with the check down, you want that extra option, and it was there every time, and so that's where they went, obviously. And they also saw advantages that they could take advantage from the commander side of things as well. But I think the littlest thing, which is kind of the biggest thing, ironically, J.J. McCarthy has been struggling, coach said, to simply literally just being balanced and aligning his feet. So he's just kind of launching this ball, and he's not taking that 1-2 extra steps, but you saw that differently in this game. And he talked about him still wanting him to, it's like he doesn't know he has a little tick of a second left, so he's going to the first thing he sees, which is your tight ends. Mm-hmm. So when I look at a Dallas team who is struggling on that second level, who has typically struggled against the bigger tight ends, when even going back to the Raiders, they had one guy they had to slow down, and he was, Bowers was giving them trouble. To think that he's got 3 of them that he hit last week, if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? So I wouldn't go against them trying that, especially when you're talking about a linebacker core who's, for Dallas, is struggling. And then again, the speedsters, I feel like Justin Jefferson is obviously the number one. He's the one making all the money. The low targets that he's gotten is, I don't know where that comes from or why they're not hitting him, but I just feel like every time a team comes to Dallas, they figure it out. Mm-hmm. So that what would scare me the most if they're able to get this run game going. But I have a little bit of confidence for some reason about Dallas, because I feel like, again, if you look at what they've done for like 7 straight weeks, they couldn't do anything with this run game. I don't know if that's going to be the issue against Dallas. I'm more worried about what they do at that second level and how they might expose our DBs who struggled a little bit last week.
And what I saw was kind of more so they like to get the ball out quick a little bit.
Oh, that's
very
It's
much
more so like short game that they like to do, and his first read is always Jalen. I'm gonna get this name wrong, but I'm gonna get it right.
Is it Naylor? It looks like Sailor, but with an N.
With Naylor.
Maybe that's in.
Yeah, Jalen Naylor. He's consistently been his first read, which, again, to Bree's point, I'm not sure why, because you have one of the best receivers in the NFL on your roster. But apparently, like, it just seems like from Purple Daily as well, they can't get the ball. He can't get the ball deep because he's a quarterback, of course, who battled an injury last year and still trying to think too much a little bit, working on his mechanics. And Aisha, how difficult is that when you are, a quarterback, trying to still think at the same time, too much on your mind, and still try to figure stuff out?
He's just a nugget. I mean, this is something that he's going to have to take time. I mean, throwing with anticipation. Some guys got it, some guys don't. You know, the clock in his head being sped up. Bree, you make a fantastic point, and it was something that I actually wrote down in my notes, is that there are times in the pocket where he is kept clean, and it's almost like it's too long. If I'm not mistaken, the Vikings are, what are they? Their offensive line is 7th in average time to throw, which is 3.07 seconds. Again, so that's what I'm saying. Like, this offensive line, not bad. It's very confusing. Anyway, last week, he didn't have as much time to throw. 2.56 seconds was the average time for him to throw. But I do think he does get happy feet. I do think that there are times where he kind of rushes the process. There are plays opening up downfield for him, and he takes the check down. That was something I noticed last week as well, Bree, is that he really got Ben Sims, their second tight end, involved, kind of just sitting in zones and sitting underneath. And then if Hawkinson was available coming across the field, he would take advantage of that. But to answer your question, Nicole, it's difficult because, they have to trust. Like you said, they have to trust their mechanics. The mechanics have to be clean every time. One thing that stood out to me watching Justin Herbert the other day was despite the fact that he was injured, you saw him climb the pocket with his feet, and it just looked correct. Like, he didn't look out of sync and things like that. And I think that's why, even though the protection for him was so poor, he was still able to make some plays and not make a whole bunch of bad decisions with the ball in his hand. But for a young quarterback, I think this is his he's played 7 games this year. Yeah. He just nugget. So he still has so much to learn, and you see this in the interceptions. 5 of them have come from the middle of the field. Yeah. That's a young quarterback thing. That's something that young quarterbacks struggle with. So if he's kept clean, he can do his thing. He's still learning how to improvise, which I think that's something we see Dak Prescott do really well, is the improvising, the climb in the pocket, the doing all that stuff. No, he feels pressure. He's scrambling. Mm-hmm. He's scrambling, and that's why he's 4th in scrambles in NFL, because he's going early, like you said.
Let me tell you something. Improvise if you want to.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Is Clowney going to be back?
That part.
Look, is Clowney going to be back?
No, literally. Dallas, 29 sacks this season. Number 1 in NFL in hurries, also QB knockdowns, and also pressures. Wow. Doesn't that sound great?
It does.
It's beautiful.
But it's so frustrating because it's like the problem with the pressure, like all those things are good, but these guys don't have enough time to get home all the time because of some of the stuff you're doing on the back end. But we're not going to go.
Please. All right, we're going to take our first break here on Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. Get into this Minnesota Vikings run game. Is this run game being underutilized? We'll be right back with more Girls Talk, Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
Cowboys fans, when it comes to navigating the ever-changing world of tax, your business needs a partner it can trust to tackle even your biggest tax challenges. Ryan is the largest firm in the world dedicated exclusively to business taxes. Our team of tax professionals has local expertise in all areas of tax and can help you uncover savings opportunities you didn't know you had. Learn more about how Ryan can improve your overall corporate tax performance by visiting Ryan.com. Ryan, the official tax partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Heck of a win, fellas.
Coach, the Cowboys beat us by 30 points.
No, I'm talking about my dog. He started eating fresh food from the farmer's dog and has lost 7 pounds.
Your senior dog with joint issues?
That's right, Steven. The pre-portioned meals of real meat and veggies help keep him lean, active, and feeling like a puppy again.
That's incredible. But what about the game?
The Cowboys smoked us. Hit the field, run some sprints.
Get 50% off your first box of the official pet food of the Dallas Cowboys. Only at thefarmersdog.com/Cowboys.
how does the cheerleader's hair always look so perfect? We asked, and they shared one of their biggest beauty secrets. If you want hair like theirs and confidence to match, use Babyliss Pro styling tools. The Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders use Babyliss Pro curling irons to get those perfect game day curls. To get the hair you see on the cheerleaders, head to BabylissPro.com. Use the code Cowboys20 for 20% off Babyliss Pro tools, the official styling tools of the Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Get the discount while it lasts. Offer may be withdrawn at any time at advertiser's discretion.
Celebrate the season at Cowboys Christmas Extravaganza, powered by Reliant at the Star in Frisco. Join us every Friday and Saturday night from November 21st to December 20th for an electrifying holiday performance. For details, visit thestardistrict.com.
Welcome in. Wow, I got excited, then I just forgot. It's fine. Welcome back into Girls Talk Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio. Nicole Hutchinson, Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison. Ladies, I posed the question. Is the Vikings' run game being underutilized? Aisha?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think so. I went and looked at both of their backs are interesting. They also have Ham, who's their fullback / running back, kind of how the Cowboys use Lipke. He's been there for quite a while. And he exudes a lot of power coming out of the backfield, kind of lead blocking for them. Mason is someone that runs with a crap ton of power. He's a downhill runner. I was looking at Aaron Jones. I would describe him in this point in his career as like, I hope this is the right word, but he's more bouncy. Mm-hmm. You see him, really trying to figure out, find the hole and try to be patient and stuff. But when you look at both of them, they both have pop in their legs. They both have, you can tell they have juice to really, go. And this offensive line is not bad. Now, Darisaw still, like I said, talking about yesterday, he's still coming back from that ACL injury. He's still trying to get his bearings under him. I don't think he can anchor and be as powerful as he was before, but I'm just disappointed in their run game. I'm looking at their offensive line. I'm like, this offensive line doesn't suck. It don't. Yeah. It doesn't suck. This is a decent unit, and I think the numbers tell you that as it pertains to his time to throw and things like that. And then, so to your point, and also too, I feel like it's being underutilized because you got a young quarterback. To put so much pressure on him to have to pass the ball is, I don't know. It's kind of odd to me. But to answer your question, I do think it's being underutilized. And maybe this is a game that they decide to just do it, even though Dallas has been decently stout against the run. I don't understand what they got going on personally.
That's fair.
I think their offensive line's better than what they're giving it credit for.
That's fair. And I know Aaron Jones, he started the season on IR.
He did.
So looking at the stats, I'm like, okay, maybe they just took them a little time to kind of figure it out.
That's fair.
They did have some games when he returned where both of them, talking about Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones, who kind of was the number one guy while Aaron Jones was out. They had but it was just they weren't getting the ball. It wasn't so I don't know if it's something where it's and we've seen Dallas do it a little bit. Some games where it's they try it, it's not working, and they just go away from it. But but then I feel like they eventually get back to it. It might not be that quarter, even that half, but they get back to it. It's like the Vikings never get back to it. But I think the kind of the argument is from Vikings Nation, if you will, is okay, let's take. We don't care how bad Commanders looked. Let's just focus on what was working on our side, and that was the run game, and that was running 55% of our snaps. Run game. That's all they didn't go away from it. So it doesn't make sense for a team who, yes, statistically, like we said yesterday, that little small chance is still in the playoffs, but they should be, in my opinion, trying to build for the future. They finally got something from J.J. McCarthy that says, hey, this could be the future, right? Simple mechanic things came into play. No, he's not or hasn't shown he can be the guy who's going to just launch the ball and be just threats, and that may come with time. Someone compared him to Caleb Williams, which I thought was interesting, because if you remember Caleb Williams in the beginning of the season with the mistakes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not his sense of play and his strengths. but he kind of looked a hot mess in the beginning. And this was just the beginning of the season. They were able, and he's still, making some mistakes, but even his improvement from last year to this year, taking care of the football, well, McCarthy's been injured. He's really a rookie.
Yeah, he's a nugget. He missed a lot of the season last year with the MCL sprain, and now the ankle this year. He was out with the concussion. So I totally agree. Is like maybe they are just still, unfortunately, trying to get into a rhythm of things, getting guys back, and trying to get guys accustomed to things. Now, do you ladies believe that the confidence that they got in the run game last week? Now they told the Commanders up.
Everybody tearing the Commanders.
I could not believe the interior push that they got on that Commanders defensive interior. We've known that defensive interior to be strong for years. I mean, the rest of the team could be horrible.
Yeah.
But they still had an interior that could really attack at the line of scrimmage. But I don't know. Do you think that they're going to decide to try to run the ball? You think they have some confidence and they're like, okay, well.
Absolutely.
Okay, well.
They're going to try it.
And they do have a QB that is part of their run game, or can be,
He can scramble. That's one thing I wrote down is, he's fourth in scrambles with 12 this year, but I saw him last week do a better job of feeling the pressure and stepping up in the pocket. He'll slip through the A and B gaps. So this is something that you mentioned earlier, your linebackers and stuff have to be ready for. But yeah, he's not super fast, but he is a guy that he got some little wheels, and he will take third down opportunities and stuff if he doesn't see an opportunity to throw the ball, or he'll rush it like you were saying. Right?
I will say, if Dallas can't find a way to take advantage of the weaknesses of J.J. McCarthy, I will have worries. I don't care what the rest of the season looks like. I will have worries because this is a QB who literally just got a little bit of spark of confidence, right? He doesn't, outside of last week, he doesn't have great ball security. He's just showed a glimpse that he can kind of read these defenses, but still, like, you're talking about a QB that coach is like, he needs to do simple things like just get his feet set, like it's 1-2 steps. So I'm hoping we see the Dallas defense that we saw in the first series of last week, where I was hyped up, like they came out hot and looked like they were going to do some damage, and then they did not. But again, I hope this is a day where they can eat and they can bring the pressure and they can get home and just clean up and kind of take out what they didn't do against the Lions, against the Vikings. That would be very nice.
Y'all remember what Aaron Jones did to the Cowboys?
I know. I don't want to deal with him.
He has 9 touchdowns against the Cowboys, 83 attempts, 488 yards.
Yeah, he come home to Texas. We know Aaron. We know you from El Paso and all that stuff. But he come home to Texas and he be like, ooh, this is my old stomping grounds. And he just go nuts every time. And
I like that they all do that.
Well, one thing that is concerning to me is when I look at their running back core, I say, okay, well, they use him sometimes, to lead block. They'll slip him into the flats. It's just like an extra option. They will use Mason, who I think does run with power. And then they also, too, Aaron Jones, one thing that he is able to do, I don't know how much they use it, this is a receiving running back. This is another running back that can do receiving things, that can catch the ball out of the backfield. Not as good of a route runner and stuff as Jahmyr Gibbs, but will they try to find favorable matchups? Yeah, they did. They did try last week. Are they going to try to find favorable matchups with your linebackers again? As a matter of fact, Gibbs was getting lined up against corners. He was, Jesus.
Please.
But that's something that concerns me when it comes to Aaron Jones. It's not just the rushing. It is the ability that he has to catch the ball. Dallas has not defended the middle of the field that well this year. This team likes to really attack the middle of the field.
Who specifically, you talk about favorable matchups for the Vikings, right? Who specifically would be a favorable matchup for them when you're talking about an Aaron Jones?
For them?
Yeah, for them.
Like who you want.
Like who would you attack if you are the Vikings with Aaron Jones?
Murray.
I was going to say it depends who they have out there, but it sounds like we talked about it yesterday, Nicole, that Schottenheimer was basically saying the Murray-Wilson thing it's not going nowhere. So,
yep,
I guess.
So, Murray?
Yeah. Not them being tied for fumbles lost.
Yes.
7?
Yeah. They're, I believe, Minnesota is, I had it written down, sorry. Minnesota is 30th 30th at -12 in turnovers differential, by the way. Also, Dallas ranks 29th in NFL turnover differential.
I don't want to see what we saw when we better, after making fun of what Philly was doing.
Please.
I hope nothing comes back to haunt me.
Well, I'm scared.
We're
We're going to talk about it tomorrow, but Brian Flores is, he a little woohoo when it comes to the things he does defensively. So that's a whole nother story. But, yeah.
When you talk about woohoo, how does Matt Eberflus need to play, or what coverages do you want to see when you're talking about defending a Vikings offense?
For the love of muffins.
Okay. Got it.
Please.
Mm-hmm.
Please.
What defense is that?
Yeah. Please.
The muffins.
I'm trying to take notes.
Please do not allow these gentlemen to just have free releases off the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
Please give your pass rusher opportunity to actually get to the quarterback, and at least technique-wise, if you are going to play zone, that's fine, but at least technique-wise, make sure that these guys are redirecting the defender, that their communication is cleaner, because, again, they have guys on the back end that will run past you. All of them, almost every single one of them have speed. And that stands out to me as how bad Dallas struggled last week with the speed of the Lions. But it wasn't even just because of speed. It's because you are allowing them so much space off the line of scrimmage. You're not affecting them at all. So that, I don't care. I don't care if Dallas decides to do cover 2, cover 1. I don't care what it is. Redirect the defender. Put your hands on somebody. Do not let these running backs just do whatever the hell they want to you. I can't take it. So that's what I'm going to ask for. Please tackle more sound and try to affect the receivers at the line of scrimmage. Stop just letting them run past you.
I was listening to some analysts about what went right for the Vikings, and they were like, it was surprising from the Commander side how far their corners were playing off the ball and so much space they were giving, and they were taking advantage. And the first thing I thought of was
your heart dropped.
They played a lot. They played a lot of zone, and to your point, they gave them a lot of space, and they didn't make adjustments. And it gave me a little bit of.
He ate up that zone last week. Like
so.
People can say what they want to say, but like JJ McCarthy read the defense. He took what the defense gave him. He didn't force much. He allowed his receivers to sit in the zones. He delivered the ball on time. Like, I thought you made a really good point earlier, Nicole, talk about how much quick game is involved in their offense. But this is an offense also too. Is like, he will throw the ball downfield. It's not something that you see as consistently, I'm sure, as what they want, but he's 19th in big-time throws with 13, and he's only played 7 games. So I know saying that he's 19th is like, okay, whatever, but he's only played 7 games. So that lets you know he got a rocket, y'all. He's not afraid to throw the ball downfield. And so I'm nervous about not only their quick game, but if they can block it up, which I think in some instances they might be able to. If he's clean, he will throw the ball downfield.
Yeah, and they were able to drive the length of the field on a couple of drives against Washington. And so when you talk about special teams, when you talk about turnovers, please improve in that area. When you talk special teams, I know we had briefly talked about it a little bit. Aisha, what in the world
is going on?
Dallas Cowboys.
We relived it a little bit yesterday.
We did?
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit? We're going to relive
Christy
it
was
today.
talking about CJ being one of the only people that talked, and, we talked about the not great coverage leverage that Schottenheimer. You don't remember this?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
It's fine. We'll relive it a little bit. All right. Well, they allowed last week the Lions to starting field position, average about the 41, 42-yard line. Not good at all.
Not good.
Yeah, let's talk about it, because this Cowboys defense has had to, which is, I don't think it's talked about a lot, is the fact that this Cowboys defense has had to defend basically from half field on every possession. So how much does that play a role into this matchup as well?
I mean, it's important. I mean, when you even look at, like, their kickoff return averages, I mean, Dallas is 25th, and the average returns that they're getting, the Vikings are 12th. it's just, I'm not going to sit up here and say that it's just been horrible, but it has not been as clean as what you would expect. And we talked about it ad nauseum. It's just the loss of Bones Fossil and what that really has meant to this team. But what scares me also, too, like, is their returner. I mean, their returner, I believe is, what is this gentleman's name? He's speedy as heck. Like, I've seen him. Oh, it's his name. Miles Price out of Indiana. He's a smaller frame guy, but he's able to kind of slip through some of the cracks. And one thing that you saw last week with Dallas in punt coverage is that Dallas was trying to kind of squeeze and get up on Detroit, you know, as they were coming down the field on returns. And Detroit's returners were just slipping through where Dallas was trying to kind of funnel to each other. Yeah. And I mean, this is a guy that can do that as well. Like, this is a guy that, you know, can also get, he has 1,262 yards on kickoffs this year. That's not a little bit of yardage. Like, this is a decent returner. This is a guy that can get after his long being 61 yards. I'm hoping that Dallas is able to play better punt coverage. I know that you are allocating resources elsewhere and things like that, but this is just, you can't have, with an offense that has, you know, with the Vikings that's kind of struggled to find balance and stuff. They are coming off a game where they find some confidence. I'm hoping that Dallas can come out and put themselves in better position to force them to have to drive the length of the field, just like teams are doing with you. Teams are waiting on you to make a mistake. So, the special teams unit was very disappointing last week, and this special teams unit for Minnesota is has some polish to it.
Yeah. That's like one thing you would hope. And it's just like, we just didn't have to have this conversation that much. Like, it's kind of like the O-line. If you're talking about the special teams a lot, like, something's going wrong. But I think the most like discouraging thing for me when I'm watching is I can accept the fact, even though I don't like it, I can accept the fact that the Cowboys offense, they're just a team that it looks real bad at first and it gets better. That's okay. But what I can't accept, and that's really what they've been doing consistently.
I'm tired of them.
But what I can't accept is them to come out for the first series, 2 series, whatever, and then put your defense, who is still, let's not forget, is building their own confidence. How many weeks was the story? We're going in there, and I almost felt bad going in the locker room because we're asking the same questions, like, you know, to the offense, talking about, like, basically how does it feel to be carrying this team, but you're for this defense who's showed up for you 3 consecutive weeks in big ways, giving this team hope against very good teams, winning teams, things that people were like, can Dallas even beat? Yeah, they can. They showed they could, but then you set them up, to Nicole's point, where it's like their backs are against the wall. You're almost asking them to do something impossible, and it's not just like once, it's like back to back. They're going to, like any great defense is going to fold at some point, especially when you're facing better offenses, which they did last week. So I don't know what the special teams got going on, but fix it.
You know what's crazy?
What?
I feel like since, like, I got here, we ain't never talked about special teams as much.
Yeah,
like in a
that was the strong
way.
I mean, Bones was.
He was amazing.
There's a reason why, like, you have two guys that have been, like, all pros on from him recruiting and stuff. So it's a big loss. Like, you know, the coaching. And not only that, with Bones, he wasn't just a coach. He helped create a lot of the rules. He's really, like, you know what I'm saying? So he's, like, he's able to schematically do things because he kind of got the jump on it. You know, so with Sorensen coming in, I think that is one of the areas that maybe we didn't focus on as much. And maybe this offseason we'll take some time to focus on a little bit more. Dallas is going to play they gonna play zone, ain't they? Breeze. They gonna. Nope.
We're not. We're gonna take our second break here on Girls Talk Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign. We'll be right back. I'm not playing with you today.
Heck of a win, fellas.
Coach, the Cowboys beat us by 30 points.
No, I'm talking about my dog. He started eating fresh food from the farmer's dog and has lost 7 pounds.
Your senior dog with joint issues?
That's right, Steven. The pre-portioned meals of real meat and veggies help keep him lean, active, and feeling like a puppy again.
That's incredible. But what about the game?
The Cowboys smoked us. Hit the field, run some sprints.
Get 50% off your first box of the official pet food of the Dallas Cowboys. Only at thefarmersdog.com/Cowboys.
Discover Aiden, the official luggage partner of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders. Known for top-tier engineering and craftsmanship, Aiden offers more than just bags. Originating from Australia and designed in New York, it merges fashion, design, and culture. Used by Dallas Cowboys players, staff, and the entire organization, Aiden provides style and functionality for all travelers. Visit AidenTheBrand.com and use code AidenXCowboys for 25% off your purchase. Travel like your favorite stars with Aiden.
When you're on the field, you know what it takes to lead your team and play with confidence. But that confidence shouldn't just stop at game time. It should follow you off the field, too. Join over 500 NFL players who trust Invisalign, the #1 doctor-recommended clear aligner brand. Ready to take the first step towards a smile you'll love? Visit Invisalign.com/NFL and find a doctor near you today. Transform your smile and take your confidence to the next level, both on the field and off.
All right, Cowboys fans, this one's for us. If the men in your life bleed blue and silver like we do, I've found the perfect way to elevate their game day rituals. Gillette just released their best razor in Cowboys colors, and it is everything a Cowboys fan could want. The new Gillette Labs official Dallas Cowboys licensed razor combines his Cowboys pride with Gillette's best shave. And with 50% longer lasting blades, it is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Get it while you can at Gillette.com/NFL. Gillette's best shave is also available as heated.
Get in the game this holiday season with Dallas Cowboys youth football and dance camps presented by Invisalign. Athletes aged 6 to 16 take the holiday hustle to football camps on December 23rd and 27th. Future DCCs sparkle with America's sweethearts on December 27th. Spend your holiday break learning from the best. Visit DallasCowboys.com/camps to learn more.
Welcome back into Girls Talk Boys Talk, presented by Invisalign in the SWBC studio. Nicole Hutchison, Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison, and ladies, what's one thing Dallas cannot allow Minnesota to get comfortable with on Sunday night?
It's always the one thing that be having me.
My bad. Okay, too.
You go ahead, Aisha. Get off your chest.
I'm looking at Bree. I'm like, do tell. What is the one thing that?
The one thing. Sorry.
I guess for me it would be what they saw success in last week, which was quick game, and you got killed with that this past week. How can you even at the fact that, like, if you are gonna do what you've been doing and running zone at the 5th highest rate in the NFL, if you're gonna do that, maybe try to mix some looks at him, maybe try to slip him up. Again, this is a young quarterback. This is a guy that doesn't always trust what he's seeing. He will turn the ball over. I think that's the biggest thing, is maybe trying to change the picture and doing something to give your pass rusher a little bit more time to get there if they do decide to go up-tempo with their offense. Yeah.
I would just like to point out that
can't do that.
Last week, when this team decided to blitz the very little they did, it actually worked.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah,
when I look at a young QB who's can't read defenses, who looks like he's, if any kind of pressure gets to him, he's just going to kind of throw it wherever. And when he's, to your point, doesn't have the time, I'm a blitz. I'm a blitz, and I'm going to mess him up.
Talk about it.
And I'm hoping, and I don't know about you, Aisha, but Marist is someone that's been kind of hidden. But when you send him, it looks, and you don't ask him to do too much, and you just send him downhill.
Just go.
That's
blitz.
What his strength is.
Mm-hmm.
It would be nice to see some more of Marist doing that, Overshown doing that. And I think that's how you get him. I don't think it's going to take much to get in J.J. McCarthy's head.
I agree. You look at the numbers, it's
much.
stifling. It's stifling how much. Like, if he's kept clean, it's all right. Under pressure, when he's blitzed, no play action. It is the man. If he has anything else going on around him, he will make panic. So,
and we know we're, like, tomorrow we'll get into Vikings defense, but we know Brian Flores and what he's about and the free runners that are going to be in his defense. Can we
match
have
that energy?
Can
You saying match that energy?
That
Yeah.
feels like a good game to do it.
Yeah.
For a team whose offense, you asked in the beginning, what's their identity? I don't think they know what their identity is. They're trying to figure it out. They had a plan, to your point. They went away from it. Is that because they had an injured QB? Did they see things they were from a college tape that hasn't translated to the NFL? I think yes. And are they trying to figure out mechanic stuff early when you're talking about someone who only had 7 starts, when he's had 10 interceptions in 6 games? Like, yeah, probably afraid to not be able to, you got to do the basics before you can get to that fancy playbook that Kevin O'Connell wants. So to your point, yes, I think they'll stick to the run game or attempt to, because that is what worked. And they're trying to figure out what still works. But yeah, I want Eberflus to get in his bag.
Yeah, they were successful. I thought that's a great point, Bree. They were successful last week when they decided to blitz, in effect, Jared Goff and kind of get him off center. I hope that if they do blitz, make it look like you're not going to. Some of the disguises. And I'll be like, dog. You so deep, like right now. Like, of course, like they don't take this seriously. Sell it. Like, I need the linebackers to sell it a little bit more. Like, at least Reddy Stewart, as much as he be not getting there sometimes, he really be selling at the line. He be like, oh, I'm going to get you. Oh, I'm not. Oh, I'm going to get you. At least sell it.
I want to see somebody else.
Please.
I do too.
Who?
I don't know.
I just told you who.
You don't.
I gave you 2 other options.
You did say Maris.
She did. You said Maris.
You
Who else?
Maris to who else?
Overshow.
Okay, you did say that.
You actually said some. Those are probably some of your most aggressive Looney Tunes coming
The
down your
crazy.
players.
Send the crazy ones.
Yeah.
Please.
Do something. Somebody do something. Their center is rock solid, though. I ain't gonna lie to you. That center of theirs, we out the way. So that's a matchup I'm looking forward to. What Quentin Williams or whomever is going to be lined up against their center is going to be fun.
What's a matchup you're looking forward to on the outside with secondary?
Looking forward to?
Yeah. I'm not really looking forward to it. I don't think anyone's.
I'm scared.
I mean, they haven't.
Please.
I'll be discouraged if they're able to feed Justin Jefferson because they haven't been able to. So if they figure if it's the get right game against Dallas in Week 15,
I don't know. I wonder who Bland ends up taking.
Yeah.
You know who they feel like matches the. We know that
Probably Addis.
Savon Revel is coming off of a game where he kind of struggled a little bit. I guess I would just say the secondary in general, because J.J. McCarthy sometimes can be off with his accuracy and things like that. Jordan Addison has had 7 drops this year. Can we get a tip pick? Can we get a little something?
a turnover,
So to me, I'm looking
From
at
anywhere?
pick 6.
Yeah, Dallas' secondary only has 5 interceptions.
Yeah, and I think this is a game where maybe you can get some of that to happen. Speed up the quarterback's clock. You know that he's still struggling with accuracy. Change the picture. Go take the ball away from this offense that has struggled to, don't get it twisted. They put up points last week, but this offense is only averaging 19 points a game. Mm-hmm. So 19.6 points a game. So go put pressure on them to have to pass. Yeah. And see what happens.
J.J. McCarthy sacked the second most on pass attempts. Interception percentage is the worst in the NFL.
That'd be his fault.
Passer rating, that too.
It do be his fault. Them pockets be clean.
He be running.
He got Jalen Hurts spirit. Cause sometimes them pockets be clean.
Eagles all week. And it's only Wednesday.
What? I like Jalen Hurts, but he do got his spirit. Like, you got one. I do like Jalen Hurts as a human.
Oh, okay. Because I was like,
but the one read and being like, I'm out of here. Like, nah, brother. Like, you're going to have to, sometimes you're going to have to sit up there and get hit in the mouth and deliver the ball.
Mm-hmm. I need you to use the door.
What I do?
I just keep looking at this 31-0. Like, that's crazy.
It is wild. And it's crazy to look at the Commanders just.
Yeah.
Well, I know what happened to them, but
what happened? What happened to them?
Dang.
What happened to them?
Well, one, their QB can't stay healthy. He getting knocked out every game, I feel like.
Girl, you flick him and he's
made out of.
He's definitely having some injury
3-10,
issues.
I'd probably let him sit it out.
I'm surprised that they brought him back.
Let him sit it out.
But also, too, what happened is that defense has gone through a lot of the stuff that I remember feeling.
Mm-hmm. On that note, well, we hope to not feel that again for the rest
Here
of the season.
sometimes.
But Cowboys, Minnesota Vikings, I need one X factor before we go. Cowboys defense, X factor.
Cowboys defense.
Yep.
Oh, Clowney.
Yeah.
Big dog, never a little one.
Period. What you got?
Defense. Oh my God, they scare me.
My girl is traumatized.
I would say Quinnen Williams, and that's kind of a cheat code, but
Yeah, quiet game last week.
That's what I was gonna say, and not a bad game, but quiet game.
Right.
So I would expect him. I don't feel like somebody like him, the way he be talking after a game like that, is coming back quiet for 2 weeks in a row against the Vikings. So I expect him to eat. And you talked about, the interior on the other side. So I think, again, that's
Yeah.
going to be a big deal.
I want whoever the hell is blitzing. Blitz every damn play if you want to.
Do something.
crazy.
Yeah, I love the idea. But
Yeah.
Clowney. Hopefully he's back this week.
I hope so. We'll see.
We're going to pray and
Hope he's
fast
out
about
there.
it.
That part.
Not limited today.
All right. This has been a great show, ladies. We'll be back here tomorrow at 8 a.m. Thanks for watching. For Brianna Aldridge, Aisha Morrison, I'm Nicole Hutchison. We'll see y'all back here tomorrow.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?